Hello, how are you doing? Hey, what's up? Hope you guys are good, man. I am feeling much better. I took the time to rest that I needed. I feel like my health is back to where it needs to be. And yeah, I just wanted to tap in and do a reading. We just had the full moon that passed on the 6th. I think today's either the 7th or the 8th. I'm losing track of the time at this point. But we're just going to do a collective reading, man. We're going to see what comes out. We're going to be starting out with the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot, which I do feel like is a nice deck if you haven't seen it. They basically use this dude's artwork from I don't know how long ago. He's basically an artist from back in the day, and he's got a bunch of crazy looking art. It's a very loud truck. It's a very loud truck. So we're just going to tap in, man. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. So let's just get into it. We're going to say a deep breath. Say a deep breath. Take a deep breath, say a prayer, then hop back into the energies. Alright, pray to God, Spirit, my guides, my angels, and my ancestors to help myself, the collective, and anybody watching to see the clearest messages for the highest good of all involved in our love and relationships. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching, by the way. I appreciate you and I love you. As always, man, your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and all the good stuff. I really do appreciate it, man. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. We basically just do collective readings at this point, and they are timeless. If it doesn't resonate, don't force it. If you want to book a personal reading, everything is in the description. All that good stuff, you know. Here we go. Okay, so let's go and shuffle up. What do we have here for the collective things? To my guides, my angels, ancestors, any messages that want to come through. You got a little stack of Rooney. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Ace of Coins. Alright, probably gonna have to read these. Okay. By the way, this deck, they don't use like the normal tarot. It's like a bunch of different kinds. So they have like the major arcana and stuff, right, with like the world and stuff like that. But they just use a bunch of different types of suits. They have their own suits. It's basically this person took this guy's art and they just made a tarot deck based off of what he would think that guy would do with a tarot deck, right? So it's a little obscure, it's a little different, and I just like to use it because it's straightforward and it looks into the energies in a way that isn't your usual tarot meanings, and it's a different way of looking at the energies that come out, and I do really like it. So I'm gonna have to read these and then show them to you because they're kind of small and I can't see them like on the camera because they're backwards. So Ace of Skates, it says instability, danger, and uselessness. This one here. Under that, we have the Page of Books, reading, learning, exploration, a new job. Could be starting a new job, looking for a new job. We did have a lot of Pentacle energy coming out last reading. And then we have the World. So one of the regular, I don't know how to get this to focus. How do they do it? I don't know. I don't know how they do it, like the little, there you go, yeah. I kind of focused. And it says perfection, completion, victory, and religion, right? So I feel like you're coming to the end of something. Yeah, you know what? I feel like whatever instability you've been experiencing, man, I feel like that's coming to an end. You know, it's just funny because it's like we do set these out to be love readings, but lately, I mean, we are in Capricorn season. We are also in Mercury retrograde, but I just feel like there's a lot of energy coming through for you to really actually start that new process of whatever it is you've been looking for. If this is in career, this is you either getting a promotion, looking for the new job, starting a new business, putting out a project that you've been working on for a while. All of that type of energy is what I feel like is coming through. But I just feel like because you've taken the time to really sift through those old ways of thinking and living and being, you're coming to the end of whatever instability you've been facing, okay, with the Ace of Skates. Whatever just craziness has been going on, I feel like that's just coming to an end, man. I feel like you've put in the work, you've really taken care of the things in your life, and now you're going to start seeing the results here. I feel like it may be new and it may be something that you're just now starting, but I feel like it's going to be moving in that direction for you, right? So yeah, man, this could be something where it's just like you're really genuinely moving into a new direction. I feel like this is a period where a lot of us, I mean, with the full moon and the stuff that was coming out, I believe the full moon was in Cancer, by the way. I said it was in Capricorn, but it's in Cancer, I'm pretty sure. Which is funny because we are actually in Capricorn season, and Capricorn is the axis of Cancer. So with the sun in Capricorn and the moon, which might still actually be in Cancer, it's usually there for a little bit. be seeing those polarities, the dichotomy of those two push and pull energies. But yeah, man. Bottom of the deck though, we have Ace of Vessels, and it says pouring out blessings, success, and satiety. Basically, when you satiate your appetite and need, I feel like you're going to be seeing a very abundant time here for you. Okay, we have King of Birds, says purification, work, unending activity. It's kind of a little bit of a gruesome take on a card. It's pretty interesting though. The birds are flying. Yeah, that's what's going on. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm like now looking at the card. There's a lot of weird shit going on in this card with the birds up by the person. I don't know what's going on down here, but I feel like this is just the purification process. Oh, that's his stomach or something. I don't know. And then we have the Flower Pushers. This is a different type of card as well. It says force, justice, and strength. So I do believe this is justice. Then we have Paradise. It says peace, pleasure, and communication. It can be a relationship. Yeah, then we got the Lovers here. So they do have some of the regular stuff here. It says trust, romance, and love. Yeah, man. So I feel like you're not only going to be seeing movement in your career space, but it's like you're going to be seeing movement in a relationship. All right. I feel like there's been a purification process going on in this relationship, in this connection. I feel like it's something where, because you've been placing your focus so much on career, you're now going to start seeing balance be brought in elsewhere. And it's not necessarily that you weren't focusing on it, but I feel like it's one of those things where, you know, when something isn't necessarily going your way, something may not be working out the way you want it to, so you just kind of take your attention off of it and you focus on other things. That's the energy that's coming through here, where it's like you have been doing that, and because you've been doing that, you're now seeing movement in a different direction. That's not to say that you're not going to be seeing movement in other areas, like we've talked about, especially in the last reading. Those energies tend to coalesce within yourself as a singularity point, and when everything is in balance, everything grows. And that's to say that, like, when something is out of balance, you're going to start seeing, you know, maybe a lack of movement in particular areas. However, that's also a good way to evaluate when you need to come back into balance. Like, if you're just not seeing, like, for instance, like if you're seeing like your love life is just not going the way you want it to, that's a good time for you to take a look at, you know, where are you spending too much energy? Are you putting too much energy into dating, or are you putting too much energy into your career, or are you just not putting enough energy into both and you're just not doing much? That's kind of where your own personal perception of your life comes into play. But it does look like, as a whole, man, everything across the board is essentially kind of moving to the next level, is what I'm seeing. I mean, with the Justice card, I feel like if somebody here has kind of done you dirty, man, it's also kind of what I see. We had the Ace of Skates, man. It's like there could have been a situation in a work environment where essentially maybe people were just talking bad about you. They could have just been trying to put you down to maybe somebody you were interested in. It's that kind of energy, right? Where I feel like there was a lot of backbiting, and there may have been a situation where there's people like, oh, you know, I saw so-and-so did this, said this, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily feel like that's something that's really going to affect you long term. As we can see, we do have the Justice card that has come out. Everything else looks great. I mean, you got Paradise, you have the Lovers, we have the, what is this, I'm just gonna call the Abundance card at this point. It's the Ace of Vessels, right? I feel like you're going, either somebody's going to come forward and actually have an outpour of emotion regarding how they actually feel about this connection and where they want it to go. But more than anything, I feel like you may be getting closure about a situation where there has been illusions in the first place. This could be somebody, I mean, we're in Mercury retrograde, man, so this could be somebody coming back from the past, really just telling you what's been going on, or maybe explaining why they did this, that, or the third, and just saying, hey, you know, like, I'm sorry for doing this, I'm sorry for doing that, this is why this happened, and this is why I did what I did, because I was feeling this way, and these people were saying this, and this person was saying that. I personally had an experience like that as well. Somebody came back and said, hey, this, that, and the third, explained everything, found closure in the situation. It was all good and good, right? That's kind of what I'm seeing here, though, man. It's a little bit different types of energies that come out with this deck, which is why I do enjoy it. But we are going to pull from, all right, I'm going to pull, we'll do one more pull with this deck. I want to kind of get some insight into this situation that's coming forward. We do have a new love situation. It could be somebody from the past trying to reconcile and fix things with you. It could just be somebody you meet through work or in a work environment. I mean, we did have all that career energy coming out. But I just feel like, man, whatever struggles you've been going through, I don't feel like that's going to be happening for much longer if it hasn't already stopped. I feel like you're going to start seeing the growth that it's like you're going to start seeing that reflection externally to you because you've been putting in the work in your life, right? Bottom of the deck, we have the Prince of Vessels, religious or spiritual figure, charity and kindness. This could be somebody that's actually coming through to actually really help. I just said actually twice. Somebody coming through to really help you out. You know what I mean? Somebody that actually sees your worth and value and wants to support you, whether that's financially or romantically. I feel like somebody here does see that. We have the Knight of Books, says arguments, new ideas, and teachings. This is a trippy looking one too. Yeah, it looks pretty crazy. I don't even know what's going on, man. That's why I like this deck. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes perfect sense, I guess. But it just... And we have illumination, revelation, knowledge, light, and darkness. That's exactly what we've been talking about. I almost feel like I just want to show you these cards, man. This is a really interesting deck. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, man. I feel like... Yeah, at the bottom of the deck, we also have this here. It says the, what does it say? Baron of Berries, ambition at any cost, desire and broken promises. So if this is somebody who essentially left you for somebody else, maybe there was somebody else involved. It's also kind of what I'm seeing here. I feel like there was just maybe some kind of third-party energy. We did tap into this, you know, before the full moon. Before I took my like 2-week break, this is kind of the energy that was coming out. With Mercury retrograde starting on the 29th, this is the type of stuff that's going to be coming out, right? It's going to be people trying to either find balance within themselves, and in order for them to find that peace in the situation, they may need to come forward and either get clarity from you surrounding what happened, or to essentially give you clarity about what's been going on. But I feel like there's going to be a lot that has been... I feel like a lot of what has occurred in the dark is now coming to light. Whether that's people that were backstabbing you, whether that's somebody who kind of left you out in the cold and wants to come around for another chance. The energies are there for that. I mean, again, like we always say, it's really up to you. But I mean, this is somebody with a desire at any cost card here, the Baron of Berries. This is somebody who is willing to do what it takes. Somebody who is willing to put in the work. Somebody who's willing to have these tough conversations and actually talk about what happened. And not necessarily just say like, this is what happened, I'm sorry, but actually take steps necessary to healing things with you and actually rebuilding the relationship. That is totally up to you, but I'm just here to tell you that that is something that is coming through in these energies, okay? Let's go ahead and pull from another deck. I almost want to keep going with this deck, but I don't want to just take the whole reading in that deck. I actually really like using it. I've been wanting to use this in a collected reading for a while now. I only got to use it once so far. I would use it on Instagram, but it's like... I mean, you've seen some of these cards. I don't know if I would get taken... They would probably get taken down. Instagram's really strict when it comes to stuff like that, so I didn't even bother. After I saw that day, I was like, I posted on Instagram to the story, like showing people the deck, like, oh, I got like a surprise, we can use a new deck. And then I looked through the deck that night and I was just like, yeah, this is definitely not something I can use on Instagram, like at all. I mean, I could, man, but it's dangerous, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you saw the flower pusher, like, I think that in itself is enough for Instagram to be like, hey, whoa, buddy. Because they're weird, man. You can't even like post stuff with like curse words on it. You gotta like censor the curse words, or they shadow ban you or something. So anyways, man, we're gonna pull from another deck. We have this new career opportunity. We have this new relationship coming in. Somebody from the past trying to reconcile and fix things. I know it's a very cliche type of energy, but man, I don't even think it's cliche. It's just something where it's just a part of the human experience, as part of that retrograde experience, and actually really reinventing the ways in which you communicate, which is also what I'm seeing with those cards that came out earlier. It's like the teaching and the knowledge card, right? The Page of Books. It's really going over the past, but because you've grown and you've healed, it's a new way of approaching the relationship. It's like because you and this person have both grown and healed as people, you're now able to approach the relationship from a different perspective. And it doesn't feel like things are going to end up the same because, well, you guys have both grown and healed as people. And because of that, you're able to work through issues from a new perspective in a way that actually values each other's opinions. Ooh, I almost saw a car crash right now. Oh. Make sure you drive on the right side of the road. That guy almost hit that guy, man. That was a close one. Anyways, we did get one card that came out. And I just realized I'm actually getting pretty hungry. I've only had a banana and some coffee. Yeah, these cards aren't really coming out too crazy, so we're going to go and give thanks to my guides, my angels, and my ancestors for any messages, there you go, that want to come out. Bottom of the deck, we have the Star. Okay, this is the first card that came out, was the Fool. Other cards that came out with that, we have the Nine of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, back to the Fool. Like I said, man, I feel like if you were seeing a lack of movement in a situation here, I feel like clarity is going to come in about that. Okay, this is the same thing that we just talked about. So Ace of Swords, the truth of a situation is going to be coming out, and I feel like you're going to see why things have been at a standstill, why things have been stuck. Somebody could have just been closed off. They might not have even been available. They could have actually just decided to become single and maybe decided to move towards you. I really don't know. Could be the case. It really depends on your situation, but I feel like this is somebody here who sees your value. They see you living your best life. There's a very similar energies that came out on Instagram. Somebody sees you glowing up, right? They're seeing you doing well. They're seeing you doing your thing. You're living in your purpose. You're beautiful. You're thriving. You're doing your thing. And I feel like they just want to be a part of that, okay? When you start to actually really move up in life, level up in your own spiritual journey, people from the past that have access to you in that way are going to notice. They're going to see you doing well. They're going to see you living in your purpose. And a lot of the times, if people have done you dirty, they're likely going to feel guilty about that, right? Think about all the times where you've like had your own personal guilt that you've been sitting with, and you didn't necessarily know how to go about reconciling that within yourself. More often than not, would you not go seeking some kind of resolution from the person that you did dirty, whether that's to apologize and make amends, or to just, you know, give them clarity to clear your own conscience, right? That's the kind of energy that is coming through, especially with the Mercury retrograde. A lot of the times this Mercury energy gets us to slow down, really evaluate our lives, our communication styles, our processes, things that have happened in the past and how we can improve on them. I really like Mercury retrograde energy because it is an amazing time for personal evolution. It's a really, like, remember the last reading, it was like going back to the drawing board, planning for the future, this, that, and the third. It's that same kind of energy here where you're really looking at the nitty-gritty of your life, how things have gone in relationships, how things have gone in career, what has and hasn't worked. And I feel like whoever it is that you're dealing with here, if this is somebody looking at you, they're in this space where they're willing to take that risk. They're not, it doesn't seem like somebody who's just gonna like sit back and let life happen. I feel like this is somebody who is really willing to put in that work here. They want to make that investment here. They want to harvest this with you. They want that peace and love in the situation, not only to bring clarity within their to themselves, but to the situation, to see if you can actually continue to build together. The Nine of Cups can be the wish fulfillment card, but it is also the card of taking things slow and spending time getting to know each other, investing in each other, and really just like, it's like a very tender, loving card where you're indulging in the relationship and actually taking the time to really like take care of each other's needs in whatever way that would resonate for you, right? And we didn't really talk about this, but with the Star, it's like I feel like there's that healing coming into the situation. This is a freaking huge time for healing across the board. Don't know why I said it like that. I was trying to think of what to say and my words just came out that way. I feel like this is a really big time for healing for a lot of people, man. Like I said, whether this is healing a situation from the past or bringing something new into your life that is going to bring healing. I just had the light. I've never actually seen the lights on in this area, but one of the lights just came on. I think that's a nice confirmation. A lot of things are going to be brought to light. It's going to either illuminate why things happened, or it's going to illuminate how somebody actually truly feels about you, and whether you choose to move in a direction with that person or not is totally up to you, man. But like I said, dude, that's kind of the direction a lot of these energies are coming out in. Let's go ahead and get some advice here. Let's get some final advice before we close this reading out. I feel like I'm like all over the place. I know I always say that. I feel like I always say like, oh, sorry if I'm all over the place. But it's just because, man, these energies are just going every which way. It's like all these different messages and people and things, and then my own personal stuff that comes, not like personal stuff, but just my own personal biases, you know? So let's just go ahead and get some final advice here. Or anything that wants to come out. I mean, I give thanks to my guides, angels, and ancestors for any final messages here you want to bring out. Okay. Bottom of the deck, King of Pentacles. It's going to be somebody who is really, really sure about this relationship is really what's coming through. Okay, these are all here. We have the Eight of Swords, we have the Four of Swords, we have the Tower, and we have the Two of Cups. Let's see here. How can we look at this, man? I feel like this is, like I said, dude, this is somebody who has freed themselves from something. I feel like there's been a Tower moment that has come in. This has been like somebody who had an aha moment. They're like, you know, sorry, the lighting is getting kind of weird now. It's a different time of day when I'm doing this. I feel like somebody had a major Tower moment, but more than anything, the universe has brought some very, very honest realizations to somebody that you're dealing with here. They're now just like, damn. They're kind of sitting here and they're reflecting. They're kind of in their head and they're just like, well, you know, how did I get to this point in this relationship? Why did I choose to go in this direction instead of this direction when this direction is actually what I wanted, but I didn't realize it at the time? If this is you in this type of energy, like, don't be so hard on yourself, man. Like, you can only do the best with what you had, right? Think of every time where you made decisions that you feel like led you in the wrong direction, but more than anything, it just taught you what you needed to learn in order for you to be able to manage and maintain the new direction that you want to go in or are currently going in, okay? But I feel like there's just going to be the opportunity for some type of commitment here. You know what I'm saying? We do have the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Pentacles that were at the bottom of the deck. That is just very fortunate energy coming through. This is the wheel turning in your favor. This is that commitment, that stable person, that stable committed energy here. Somebody who has basically realized that, like, you know what I did to you in the past wasn't okay. Maybe they put you in a third party and they just intended on doing the same thing they usually do in third parties, and then maybe you set boundaries and then they realize, well, that's maybe not something that this person is going to tolerate. And they could have just been like, wow, like, I didn't know that was a possibility. So it could have been something too where you deciding to set boundaries and stick up for yourself and, you know, stay in your energy has essentially put this person in a place where they now have to reflect on how to move forward and how to come correct, right? There's very different kinds of energies coming out today. That sun is just like super bright. All right, let's just go ahead and I guess we'll do one more deck and then we'll close out. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and use I'm going to use a Hieronymus Bosch deck again. I am just feeling super drawn to the deck. And I don't feel like it's told us everything it needs to tell us. I mean, there are a lot more cards in this deck than your normal tarot deck anyways. So let's just go ahead and get a final. Didn't take long. All right. So we have the Prince of Skates. It says indecision, too many options, balanced pleasure. This guy's doing his little dance. It says Queen of Books, intelligence, advice, intuition, and observation. Okay. I do think books are pentacles in this, perhaps. I mean, I know coins in this deck are pentacles, but there's no, like, Queen of Coins, King of Coins. You know what I mean? When they do the court cards, they just go to, like, books, skates, birds, berries, like all kind. I don't know, man, all kinds of different stuff. So that's what I'm seeing, man. I feel like you either already have options, or this person's going to come back around and basically find out through your conversing that you do have options now, or maybe you're just interested in somebody else and you're moving in a new direction. You could already be in another commitment. This person could be coming forward and saying, hey, just an outpouring of emotion, like, I feel like this, I feel like that, I want this, I want that. But you're kind of like, you know, I'm not entirely sure. So maybe, like, that's kind of what I'm seeing too. Like, maybe things are kind of shifting where it's like maybe you came forward towards this person and you were like, hey, I want this with you, I'm looking for this in a relationship. Or maybe it wasn't, you know, expressly spoken, but the intentions were there through the actions and the experiences that you had with this person, and maybe they just were unavailable. So what I keep seeing, it's like somebody where you approached somebody or there was a romantic interest. It could have been in a work environment. You could know them through just passing in a workspace. It could be somebody that you see at a coffee shop. This could be somebody that you see in one of your classes at school, somebody that you see at work, somebody that you see on break at a different company. You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy where you don't really fully know this person, but this person seems to want to continue this relationship. after just not being available, but now either you're not available or you need to make yourself available for this conversation to take place in order to make progress in this relationship. If you want to continue to move into a relationship with this person, that just seems like somebody here is very serious about you. I don't know if they're really the same type of person they were when you initially first got to know them. You know, it wouldn't hurt to give them a chance if you feel like you're comfortable like that, you know, comfortable with that, because people do change. People are capable of changing and growing as they are reflections of you to a degree. I know we did speak on reflections and mirroring a little bit. That's to say that, like, understanding how capable you are of growth goes to say that other people are just as much. You know what I mean? And while people may have done shitty things in the past, a lot of the times people just don't know any better. You know what I mean? They just don't know. And think about times where you've done things that were pretty fucked up and you didn't really know either. And it's not anything where you can sit here and beat yourself up, because now you know better and you don't make those same mistakes, right? And that's all part of the process. But whether or not you want to give someone that opportunity is up to you. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Vessels, promotion, hard work, dedication, loyalty, and career. Did we not just speak of promotion earlier? We also have River to Hell. It says movement, journey, and difficulty and struggles. I feel like you're coming out of this, man. You're either going to be moving up in this relationship or you're going to be moving up in a career space. Let's see, we have one more card that came out. It says Virgin Mother. It says motherhood, caring, compassion, divine feminine. So I feel like because you have stayed in your divine feminine energy, as we've talked about, I just feel like this is now going to be yielding the results that you want. I feel like even though you were going through these trials and tribulations and struggles and you went through so much, all this crazy shit, you came out of it a better person because you stuck to what you knew, which was your own personal healing, right? You may have just decided like, hey, you know what? I'm going to continue to focus on my life, building myself up and doing the things I need to do in order to put myself in a place that's going to allow me to build the life I want to build. This to me is the Empress. I'm pretty sure this is the Empress. It is card 3. So this is essentially you just really being in your Empress energy, and by doing so, you're naturally attracting these new opportunities. We did have the card of too many options, man. So that's to say that like not all options are good options, okay? And that's kind of where like the need for your intuitive abilities comes in to really sift through these options coming into your life, whether that's career, friendship, love offers, like romantic or otherwise. That's where like I talked about this on Instagram today for the daily message, like really utilizing all the tools that you've built up until this point. When you were wading through the rivers of hell and you were going through your dark night of the soul and you were going through all that crazy shit that you went through and you came out the other side and you learned your lessons, it's not forgetting that, right? It's remembering everything you went through and not letting it keep you stuck in that space, but applying those lessons and learning to see when somebody is being authentic, because you know, it's like I said before, when you know yourself well enough, you know whether or not something is or is not for you. And again, that takes you being in this Empress energy. But I feel like you're going to be either growing in your career space or in a relationship or both. The energy is here for that, man, and it's really totally up to you how you want to move. I just want to keep going with this deck because it's a lot of fun to use. To be honest, I feel like we get a whole different kind of energy when we do this. But I'm running out of time. I need to close the reading. We'll do one last pull with this deck because I actually really enjoy it. And then we're going to go ahead and close the reading out here. I got a few minutes left. I got about 4 minutes. So let's just see if we can get one final energy here. Spirit, final message before we end. So, Ascent of the Blessed. It says rebirth, recognition, assistance, and promotion. Promotion has come out probably like 3 or 4 times. So you can be either expecting you can be expecting a promotion, applying for a promotion, or a relationship's going to be moving to the next level. Final card here, we do have King of Books. Like I was saying, we have the Queen of Books and we have the King of Books. This could be counterparts, could be twin flame soulmate energy. We have the Divine Feminine coming out. It says hidden knowledge, a wise counselor in old age. So I feel like when this situation does come in, if it hasn't already, you're likely going to be seeking advice from somebody who has similar experiences to you, or somebody that you can trust, talking about your emotions and feelings, right? And I feel like it's like before you take that next step, there's just a need to actually gain some insight from people's wisdom. You know what I mean? It's something where I do like to talk about just fully trusting yourself and relying on yourself when it comes to stuff like this, but it is okay to talk to trusted sources that actually give you beneficial advice, that want to see you grow as a person and become a better person, and really live your best life and gain that abundance that you've been seeking. You know, if you have not already, you're likely to be attracting people like that into your life that will help you grow. So I think as a final advice here, it's like, you know, yes, rely on yourself and trust yourself, but don't be afraid to be open to other, you know, perspectives. So long as it's from somebody that you trust. Like, a good way I look at it is like, if you see somebody and you don't want to be where they are in either whatever field they're giving advice in, you know, don't take their advice, or take it with a grain of salt. Everybody has wisdom, sure, but it's like, I personally don't like to take advice from people that give me advice from a place of them not being where I would want to be. If they're in a space that I would not want to be in, then I'm not going to take the advice very seriously, or I'm just going to take it through the lens of their own fears and perceptions, and, you know, however that goes. But that's kind of what I'm seeing, man. It's like, you're going to have the opportunity to move up in a career space, or have that reconciliatory energy to actually resolve a very serious conflict with somebody from your past. It can be as serious as it is depending on your situation, and that's really going to depend on you. We're going to go and close it out, though. I only got about like 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes. So we'll get one final closing message. Again, thank you all for the likes and the comments and the subscribes. I love you and I appreciate you, and I really appreciate you watching, by the way. I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish the reading, so I'm saying my goodbyes now in case I run out of time. We're going to pull one card. I got like a minute and a half. Bear. It says, nurture creativity and return to the sweetness of life. As a final closing message here, enjoy the process, man. Appreciate the loved ones around you. They don't always got to be romantic in nature. Appreciate your friends. Appreciate your family. Appreciate anybody that has supported you along this journey, and understand that so long as you're giving equal amounts of love to yourself, it's okay to give love to other people that you do trust and appreciate. But yeah, man, that said, I appreciate you and I love you. I just want to thank you for watching, man. Again, if you want to book a personal, everything is in the description. But yeah, that is all I have for you. And you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you in the next reading. Goodbye.